This week, I'm sticking with high-low. This time I'm talking teams. I'm also going to give my final discussion on the whole Tebow thing. I'm done. It's not going to happen anymore. I am done. Fed up. I'm tired of listening to it. Also bringing you Pooch's pick of the litter, my fourth and goal, and this week's picks. Of course, also adding in the ones for the Thanksgiving holiday. I am the Trubl Zone. Good morning on the West Coast. Good afternoon on the East Coast, and right here in the heart of the Midwest, you are in the Red Zone.
At night, your man is high on life. I arrive the same way. Now I'll decide. Seen said to get back all the things we left behind. Step back, I'm coming inside. Alright, not here to start a fight. Are you receiving me?
High-low this week. Let's talk teams. I've talked quarterbacks, I've talked running backs, I've talked tight ends, but I haven't really talked about what teams I'm high on. So I think it's about high time I did that. First of all, anybody who's not high on this first team is probably not paying attention to the National Football League. Green Bay, the Pack, 9-0. Chances are going to go 10-0 this week. I'm high on them. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL right now. It's the best put-together team possibly in NFL history. This is a team that very easily stands a chance on going 16-0. I hate the thought of that. I don't want any team to go 16-0, but Green Bay, if they do it, they deserve it. Let's also talk about the San Francisco 49ers, a team that I picked. Yes, go ahead and put it up. Zone was wrong. Team that I picked to go 0-16. And where are they right now? 8-1. Man, I didn't see that coming. And this is a damn good football team now. 49ers in the playoffs. I don't hold out any thought that they're going to be out in the first round. I really don't. I think the 49ers are a work in progress still, but I think they're a damn good team already. Who am I low on? The Philadelphia Eagles, 3-6. They just threw all that money to Michael Vick. I think for the first time in his tenure there, I think Andy Reid's job is legitimately in danger. I think there's a chance he could be let go at the end of the season. It's looking more and more likely. They keep losing games like this. Well, for one, Philadelphia fans aren't going to put up with it, and two, the ownership of the Eagles isn't going to put up with it. So he'd better pull his head out of his rear end, talking about Andy Reid, and figure out where he's going wrong in his coaching scheme or who's doing wrong on the field. Who else am I low on? Kansas City Chiefs, 4-5. Matt Castle can't throw the ball. Thankfully for the Chiefs, he's now injured. And, a lot of people say I should give my Chiefs more credit. I mean, they do have a lot of injuries. A lot of the starters are out. But whose fault is that? That would be yours, Todd Haley. You didn't give them hardly any workout in the preseason. Yes, you could say, well, it was the lockout, and I wanted to get a look at my new talent. Shut up. You screwed up, and you've already admitted it. Go on, all right? You are in danger of losing that franchise. It's just, they're pathetic. They were a playoff team last year, and now they can't scrape a win. It's honestly one of the most... I feel like the Chiefs are back in the Schottenheimer days. It would almost be better if Herm Edwards was still coaching them and not Todd Haley, because at least I think they'd have a better record under Herm Edwards, and the young guys would be learning. Who else am I low on? Denver Broncos. 5-5, yeah, they've got a 500 record. But me picking the Denver Broncos as one of my lows goes right into my next topic. I've had enough. This is the last time I'm discussing it on this show. You can gripe and complain about it all you want, but I'm laying it out. This is the final time. First of all, the four-letter network needs to change its name to ETPN. Everything Tebow Production Network. Tebow time, stop it already. All right? Let's talk facts. Let's not talk, he look at him, he just wins. Well, he just wins is not a skill set. Hate to break it to you, but he just wins is not a skill set. And he's also won against really bad teams. Let's talk about that for a second. Miami, Kansas City, the Jets, who have no identity. They can't stop infighting amongst themselves. Another season like this, Rex Ryan's going to be in the unemployment line. I'll tell you that right now. Let's also talk a little bit of facts on stats. Passing for 2011, he is 56 for 125. That is horrible. Guess what, folks? The quarterback position has to be able to throw the ball. He has a 44.8 completion percentage. Now, so that all you people are like, well, he's a running quarterback. Yes, he's had 338 yards in 56 attempts. He's not a quarterback, folks. He's a running back who's standing in the wrong spot. Yes, you can use the argument, well, he just wins. Yes, Denver wins. But this experiment of a near total running offense is not a rule to use for the long haul, folks. It's not going to succeed over the long term. It's going to get really ugly here in the next few weeks when he comes up against some real teams like Chicago in Week 14, the Patriots in Week 15, Buffalo in Week 16. It's just not going to make it. You can't run on them like you can on Kansas City or on Miami or on the Jets. We're talking about Chicago, New England, and Buffalo. They're going to show us exactly what I've been saying about Tim Tebow is right. He is not a starting quarterback. He's great for the media. He's great for PR, and he's great for the NFL because he's such a nice, shining, fresh face and such a happy person. He's not a quarterback, folks. He's not. If you ask me if I would have drafted him, no doubt in my mind, but I would not have drafted him first round. I would have drafted Cam Newton first round. I would have drafted Sam Bradford first round. I'd draft Andrew Luck first round, but not Tim Tebow. If I was to draft Tim Tebow, it'd probably be in the third or fourth round, and the first words he'd hear out of my mouth as head coach when he showed up for training camp is, okay, we're going to learn a new skill set today. Well, not new for you. You're going to be a running back on this team. Or you're going to be a wide receiver on this team. Or you're going to be a tight end on this team. You're not going to be quarterback. He's not a quarterback, folks. Get over it. Going in now to Pooch's Pick of the Litter, brought to you by Matt Big Dog, the Pooch Poochio. His pick of the litter this week, Carson Palmer. He says, quote, he's moved from runt to pick. Must have burned off those Doritos. His run to the litter, Vince Young. Different jersey, same game. You ain't in Tejas anymore, Vinny. I have to agree 100% there. Future alpha male, Kendall Hunter. Frank Gore is a stud when he's healthy, but he isn't always healthy. Therefore, being his backup can be a good gig. Look for Hunter to get 8 to 12 carries this week. So, there's your pick of the litter, run to the litter, and your future alpha male from Matt, the Big Dog, the Pooch Poochio. Eventually, we're going to sit down and look at his picks and see how well he's done this season. Probably after the Super Bowl. My week's picks, also including the Thanksgiving games, taking the Lions over the Panthers. I love Cam Newton. You all know that. I'm big on camera time. But it's the Lions, and I think the Lions are going to come in with a chip on their shoulder. Taking Oakland over Minnesota. That is a lock. Minnesota's horrible. I'm taking Wax Boys over the Skins. Let's be honest. I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I hate Tony Romo, and I hate Jerry Jones. But you can take all those things and wrap them up into a really big ball of hate, and it's still only about half the size of how much I hate can't speak tonight. How much I hate Mike Shanahan. Mike Shanahan is not a good coach. The Redskins are not a good team. Whack Boys are going to take them out. Taking the Bills over the Fish, that is another lock. Come on. Seriously, Miami. Yeah, somebody really needs to take their talents to South Beach because they got no talent on the Dolphins roster, obviously. I'm taking the Browns over the Jags. Jags are improving. They really are. But I don't think they're going to topple Cleveland. My upset pick this week, I'm taking the Bungles over the Ravens. That's right. Because the Ravens have been so unpredictable and so sloppy here lately that I'm just not going to pick them. I'm not. Not this week. I think the Ravens are one of the most inconsistent teams in the NFL. I'm also taking the Pack over the Bucks. Duh. The Bucks are a decent team. They are. But we're talking about the Packers, folks. I'm taking the Sea Chickens over the Rams. Look, the Rams are not good. Neither are the Sea Chickens, really. This one could go either way. I mean, it's going to be who sucks more. I'm taking Frisco over the Desert Rats. Again, Arizona's horrible. Frisco is dominant. They're the only dominant team coming out of that division. The Desert Rats are going to get destroyed. Taking the Titans over the Falcons. The Falcons are trying to find their step again. They are completely out of step with each other. They are not on the same page. So, Matty Twice is probably going to fall to the Tennessee Titans and Hasselbeck. Taking the Bears over the Chargers. Again, inconsistency is the whole reason. San Diego can play great through three quarters. They're the exact opposite of the Tebow Broncos. They really are. Tebow Broncos will play horrible through three quarters and then just come out swinging in the fourth. Well, the Chargers are the exact opposite. They'll play great in the first three quarters, and then, Rivers decides to start being Rivers, and Turner decides to start being Marty Jr. I'm also taking the Giants over Philadelphia. Do I really need to explain that one? Seriously? Really? No, I don't need to explain that one. That's a dumb one. That's an easy pick. A 5-year-old could make that pick. My next lock, taking the Patriots over KC. KC is horrible. Todd Haley is really, really... He's got to turn it around. He's got to right the ship. They're on their backup quarterback, which can't be any worse than their starting quarterback. But the ship is not right. I mean, they had no run defense last week whatsoever. I look for the Patriots just to destroy them. I'm talking like 30-point deficit. I mean, this is going to be like week 1 where they just got owned. My Thanksgiving picks, taking the Packers over the Lions. That's a lock. The Lions are improving, but I don't think Green Bay is going to get toppled anytime soon. And yes, if you go by my picks, that will put them at 11-0. That'll put Packers at 11-0. Taking Wax Boys over the Fish. Again, it's Miami. Somebody needs to take their talents to South Beach because they ain't got any. And I'm taking Frisco over the Ravens. Look, even if the Ravens are able to right the ship, I really don't think they can beat the 49ers. 49ers are on a hell of a roll. They've got momentum, and they are a damn good football team as far as I'm concerned. 4th and goal this week. This was the last time you're gonna hear it on this show. You're not gonna hear me talk about it on Twitter. If Josh Wax starts tweeting me about it on Twitter, I'm gonna ignore the tweets. I'm done. I am sick of how the 4-letter network is obsessed with him. They've had today, for example, on 4-letter network, on ETPN radio, it was nothing but aside from Colin Cowherd, was nothing but a Tebow love fest. I'm sick of hearing about it. I am not going to talk about it on the show. I'm not going to talk about it on Twitter until he learns how to throw a pass. When he can prove to me that he's an NFL quarterback, then I will discuss him as if he's an NFL quarterback. And if you haven't checked out the special edition on the Penn State scandal, I urge you to check it out. It was a great collaboration, the first major collaboration in the Pigeon Toe between myself, Carlos Sandoval, between Carlos Sandoval and Josh Wack of the Pigeon Toe, as well as myself and Jay Rich, our graphics designer here at the Trubl Zone. It went off without a hitch. It was awesome. As I uploaded it, I watched it myself, and I was amazed at how well it went. I just wish the screen had been able to be a little bit bigger, but Blip TV only allows me a gigabyte of upload, so I had to drop a lot of stuff, including the bit rate. So, but that's the show this week. Have a good Thanksgiving. I will see you Saturday. Zone. You know what's coming. Zone out.